It's Nolan. When you really know you got it, you ain't gotta beef. I know the laws of physiology. Niggas that be talking street don't impress me no more. I made it out that phase. You impeding on my peace, I'm thinking I'ma stay. Dividing the pies, my homies I started with. The empathy within me is the real nigga starter kit. Funky is parliament, pardon me, I'm from the apartments. Don't get busy with politics, I'm mentally Spartacus. Had to turn the page, burning sage through my worst days. Just got some brand new threads to cover up my worst ways. Death certificates and birthdays, them be the memories that help me make the hurt fade. I've been in some contracts longer than I needed to. Had to get my stripes back, dress them like it's Beetlejuice. Honing on my voice for the people, I'm a vehicle. Baby on the way, I'm finna lead them through everything that they see me do. Money, yeah, it's meaningful, but coming up, that shit was menial. My credit score was remedial. So who am I to blame? And who am I to shame? When everybody coming to the spot to say my name, I feel like Hov in 97, DMX in 98. I live a life that's great. I work a job without no breaks. More money, more problems, that's a dope dealer's dream. People always in your business, that ain't dope as it seems. Keep it trucking like a CDL. Trim the fat up out my circle like a BBL. Niggas plotting on the way that they could see me fail, but they just looking for their spot, so I wish them well. I used to pray for these moments and now I got them. Blessings I start to doubt them. Hard times are prowling. All my thoughts I'ma jot them. Ain't no turning back, so I gotta be him. I can't live inside the box that y'all confining me in. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Hope y'all are, having a good day going into the weekend, as it's finna get started in a little bit. But in this video, we're going to be talking about Drake. We got some new Drake snippets, a new Drake freestyle that have hit the surface. We've also got a couple folks out here speaking on Drake lately. We've got Lamont Hill, who makes a bold statement saying he's not sure if Drake ever gets another #1 hit in his career. Very bold statement. And we've also got Ray Daniels, who went on the Danza Project, who comes out and basically says he doesn't like the way that Drake has been handling himself since the loss. And we're going to talk about that as well, okay? So we're going to put all of these things in one video, talk about it at once. So get comfy, get ready to hear, I guess, some new Drake snippets. And let's just see what the future may hold for Homeboy. I don't think he's all the way counted down and out. He does look a little weird, looks a little funny. The luster on his life and career has definitely taken some shine, you know what I'm saying? He definitely went from a shiny Ferrari to a little bit of matte black, but we'll just see what we got, man. Maybe these snippets, if they get released officially, maybe they'll help restore him back to somewhere. I don't know. I can't say it definitively if that's the case. Would y'all be receptive to hearing anything new from him? I don't know. All right. So first up, we've got this Conductor freestyle that folks are spreading out online right now. And of course, Conductor he's kind of an underground producer. He's worked with like the likes of like Griselda and a lot of different people. He also produced that Joey Badass record that The Rule Is Back that came out the other day. He's a sample producer, you know what I'm saying? Comes from like the school of thought of like Alchemist and those old school boom bap producers, but he kind of deals more so in loops. But let's hear what this Conductor freestyle is hitting on, because this is more so him in his introspective bag, I guess you could say. So y'all let me know if y'all feel like anything in here is like, solid, or do you feel like it's just throwaway bars? Let me know.
I love you.
Yeah. The summer is over, I missed it. Barrel was smoking, I kissed it. Fair showed us the renters for Texas, it's unrealistic. Cut them the check, cause I hate reviewing the budgets and limits. Just pay the man. The world fell in love with the gimmicks, even my brothers got tickets. Seemed like they loved every minute. Just know the shit is personal to us and it wasn't just business. Analyzing behavioral patterns is somewhat suspicious. Niggas was never happy for me when I run up the digits. Or when I'm breaking world records still as I guzzle a Guinness. Or when I get my fifth made back cause the color is different. Remember we traded watches, I gave you the Arabic dial, you gave me a numbered edition. You would even check up on my son like a pediatrician. Sure convinced the gang that shit was rooted in love when it isn't. Show me how different we are, there's blessings in juxtaposition.
I do want to come back to that. Seems like even his brothers fell in love with the gimmicks. They got tickets or whatever and know that it's taken personal. You know what I mean? That sounds like he's talking about people that had gotten tickets to the pop out. Maybe it was DeMar DeRozan, maybe specifically. Bron was at the pop out as well. So it sounds like he's still reflecting on, because he said the summer's over. And of course, the summer was when everything was crazy for Drake. And of course, the pop out happened Juneteenth. So I think that's what he's talking about. I think he's talking about DeMar DeRozan and LeBron getting tickets to the pop out, being a part of what Kendrick had going on, even though it was to the detriment of Drake. And he's saying, we took it personal on this side, so all that brother shit, you know, is kind of over. Not that they really care, but he's talking about it. I'm going to get back to playing it, but I wanted to just go back to that because I thought that stood out to me. I know y'all like, this nigga is a fucking simp. I already know what y'all saying.
I guess now you boys gotta abandon your summer tradition. Cold shoulders I gave in the Hamptons, it come with the distance. Figured we was always gonna be close like ovens and kitchens. I was sadly mistaken, the loyalty wasn't a given. It's all good. And niggas cry the blues for you saying it wasn't malicious. Talking about we family, well I'm not the cousin to visit. God forbid we ever gotta tarnish your public image. All that brother talk as if I really discovered a sibling. 6 degrees, my memories retrieving our humble beginnings. Niggas wanted trouble, grabbed a shovel and dug up some ditches. Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Cover my body in dirt, but that wasn't me. So he's alluding, y'all thought I was dead. That really wasn't me. Of course, y'all remember back when he was still doing like the Instagram stories and stuff related to the battle, there was that movie scene of the nigga that died or whatever. And I guess that was really like the beginning of the movie. Remember that? But yeah, man. It just seems like he's reflecting on how hurt he is that Kendrick basically leveled him from his position, and that folks within the industry and in the entertainment industries that he thought were close to him, they basically rode the wave of, okay, Kendrick is the champ. We riding with him. We fucking with him. And he's feeling some type of way. He thought that there was going to be more loyalty. He thought more people were going to hold him down. What Drake doesn't understand is when you lose, the world goes on. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that they dislike you. If they want to play some Kendrick, they want to go to a Kendrick show. The reason why the battle mattered to begin with is because y'all were both two giant pillars in this thing. If either one of y'all were not giant pillars in this thing, we wouldn't have shown up in the way that we did to even entertain it. But if you thought people were going to pick sides and they didn't, you were sadly mistaken.
That was a body double and we've done dozens of switches. Niggas tried to light the front gate up, it wasn't for Christmas. I said a prayer that morning for Sean and it wasn't religious. It came from a place of desperation and utter submission. Rapping was over for now, it came like a sudden decision. I don't give a fuck about you snakes or these other musicians. Niggas started fucking with my family, I'm going to prison. And we all crashing out together, my brother's complicit. Who put a pipe bomb in your trunk? It wasn't exhibit. I'm trying to...
All right. So then he kind of reflects on somebody lit the gate up and it wasn't for Christmas or whatever. Of course, we know there was some sort of shooting. But Drake, the people are saying that was retaliation. They're not. The people are saying that Weeknd's manager's house was shot up the previous week. So they're saying it was possibly retaliation. So you can't play victim to something if there's... if you're actually the aggressor and you're trying not to let it be known, of course, that you're not going to tell us that you did it or that you not did it, but that you commissioned it to happen or it was done on your behalf. But that was quelled very quickly. Even on the news in your city, they said, this ain't got nothing to do with Kendrick. This seems like it's retaliation for when the Weeknd's manager's house was shot up just a few days ago. So even when you try to put yourself in this so-called vulnerable introspective position, there's so many holes in your story because you're just overexposed. It's a bad place to be in. You can't even play victim because everybody already know the story. Damn, you are the boy that cried wolf, officially.
Blow the doors off that bitch when you touch the ignition. But then I gotta remember who made this shit come to fruition. It's me. Who's got the most to lose and who's in that other position? Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions. This nigga pulled a rabbit out the hat and y'all love a magician. It's funny to see you all rejoicing and hugging and kissing.
Whose legacy is gonna crumble from judgment decisions? Who are we talking about there? You talking about Puff? You throwing that out there? Could even be a shot at Jay, you know, based on what we're seeing today. You know, I wouldn't throw that out there so flippantly though, because there's people that are expecting the Drake empire to crumble from judgments as well. So gotta be a little careful with what you're saying. He's in a tough position, man. And that's why I think people are looking at his career with skepticism, because everything that, no matter what he says, there's kind of an easy counter to kind of discredit. Even when he's kind of saying some real shit, it's like, but what about you? But what about this? Well, what about that? And I really don't want to be that hater person. But I also can't ignore the obvious. There's always going to be an elephant in the room with anything that he says.
We celebrating, I rent out the club at Edition. Nothing was the same with all you bitches and nothing's forgiven. But next time, bury me in gold, my blood is Egyptian. The Dennis James come out when the vodka is flooding my system. I don't have a drinking problem, I got a subtle addiction. I got my father's habits and I got my mother's permission. My dad has another child, I told him that wasn't my sister. Grew up with dozens of Jews, churches with dozens of Christians. Also developed a deep respect for the Muslim religion. I'm staring at my daddy while y'all tell me I wasn't that nigga. That's fucking crazy.
I don't know, y'all. I gotta hear that. I gotta hear that in full quality before I really judge it the way I want to. I gotta hear that in full quality, because it's, you know, it's playing through secondhand audio. It's a recording of a recording. The beat is cool, you know. I'm kind of tired of that flow. I've heard, like, that's like the Drake flow now. We've heard that flow for the last few years. When Drake wants to get on a hip hop beat, he's done that flow. I think he's been on that flow damn near since Lemon Pepper with Ross. You know what I'm saying? I need a new flow for your hip hop bag. I need another flow. Like, anything. You could have just approached it differently. Cause like Big Sean is rapping in that same cadence, and they ripped apart Big Sean's album primarily from that cadence. Like, yo, man, this nigga sounds like Drake. And we've heard too many songs of that brand of Drake. You know what I'm saying? Where's the 6 p.m. in New York Drake at? You know, where's Calabasas Drake? I forgot the timestamp exactly on that one, but where's that guy at? You know what I mean? He had different flows. He had different ways that he approached the beat. He just like gets on his like the gate up for the Christmas. God forbid we have to tarnish a public image. It's like, all right. I understand that you can make that whole rhyme work for the entire 2.5, 3 minutes. Okay. What else? Again, people are going to say I'm a hater, but I think the majority of y'all will know what I'm talking about. And if you're a hip hop fan, which is what I am, most importantly, because I ain't got no skin in the game with none of these niggas. Like, y'all get what I'm saying, man. One thing about loving this shit is you want artists to be able to give you a wow factor. You want to be, damn, when I press play, I want to hear something that I haven't heard from a familiar source. What's your message when I hit? You know what I mean? And it just feels like something I've already heard too many times from the same person. So that's where it also gets tough. Now there's some snippets, I guess, from the Party Next Door shit that got knocked down as well. Let's go ahead and see what they're talking about on that. And I may not be able to keep this stuff up in this video too long. So if you happen to see this video at a later time and the music is actually taken out, it's going to be because of UMG copyright, but we'll keep it here as long as we can. All right.
Scammers and them drug dealers flex on a budget. I trick on you like I'm Detroit thuggin'. Put you on a jet cause I miss you and I love you and I wanna see my bed. Getting old, the pressure's getting heavy. The rock I put on your finger, girl, is heavy. Never thought I'd see the day you cry. Till you cried in my arms at night. Fuck a red beef, I'm tryna get the party lit. Hooked on like a villain to him. Dirk's boy told me Marvin's Room was his favorite song, he would drill it to it. 1,000 niggas rapping murder shit and like 10 niggas that'll really do it. Savage, you don't.
So that's 3 snippets of Drake. The second one sounded kind of cool, even though I'm not even into like melodic Drake all that much. The second one sounded cool, I ain't gonna lie. The third one, I might actually play, you know, and give it an honest listen when it comes out. Sound like he's getting to some shit. I found it interesting that he said, one of Dirk homies said Marvin Room was his favorite song and he was drilling to it. You mean to tell me these niggas was going out on missions playing Marvin's Room? Wow. They are psychotic. And I think he also in that third snippet, he said something about Savage. Shout out Savage, you're the only one to really check on me or something like that. What's the bar? Savage, you're the only nigga checking on me when we in some shit. Then there's another line where he says, fuck a rap beef, I'm trying to get the party lit. 1,000 niggas rapping murder shit and 10 niggas that'll really do it. Only thing is, you're not one of those 10. And you be rapping about some of the slime shit too. So again, it's hard to listen to this guy. Even when it's like aesthetically somewhat pleasing, he's just overexposed. And I think that's what makes it hard for people that are not like certified Drake fans to listen to him henceforth. But I ain't gonna lie, that last song, the Drake one, that's on the screen, I would listen to that. The Drake P&D one, I might, you know, when it comes out, I might spin that motherfucker. That the Drake 2 up there, the first one that played, not so much, right? I'm gonna be honest about that. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think he still has a voice that I'm used to hearing as far as hip hop and as far as music is concerned. So that's where I stand on that. But I don't know if it's enough to really save homie. Everything that he's got, everything in his chamber just seems kind of average. It seems kind of like I got 10 Drake songs like this that could sustain me forever type shit if I wanted to hear them. So he's in a tough spot because now the challenge is, how do you create a movement for Drake that can actually extend beyond what he's already done? How can he build upon what he's already done when he's been comfortable doing a lot of the same formula for so many years? It's tough. So now we're about to get into Ray Daniels talking about Drake how he's responded to the beef, how he's carried himself, how people are perceiving him, how he perceives him at this point. All those things. It's about a 7-minute clip. I don't know if I'm going to run the full 7. If he starts rambling and babbling, we'll cut him off because Ray Daniels can be a bit long-winded. But let's just hear what he has to say, okay?
Right? And it's like, what did Drake say on the beginning of that response to Push? You got the fucking nerve. And guess what? That's what Universal's saying to him. You got the fucking nerve.
Right.
You got the fucking nerve. You can't even take a loss, my nigga. It's a loss, bro. You in the hood, you get your ass whipped and you that's it. So if you go kill something, it's like, bro, take it like a man. Take it like a man. You lost, that's it. And you started it. You started it all, and you was poking there. Well, yo, he's posting Anthony. Where your man at? Where your man at? That nigga came and you flew the fuck away, and then you flew away, and you was like, you know, you fly real far. You like, that shit'll be over a week from now.
I'll be back.
I'll be back a week from now.
Time moves
that
different.
shit. Then they announced you doing a Super Bowl. What? This nigga's bro. Listen, he understands business because nobody has benefited from it more than him. And when you understand business, you know you lose some, you win some. That's business. But they've allowed him to be the nigga when he's with us, but the Jew when he's with them, and they've allowed him to grow. And now he ain't never took a loss. He's been spoiled his whole life, and now he's taking a loss on the middle of the street. Dog, what's happening to Drake is nothing compared to what happened to Ye. When nothing. You had Banks saying sentiments. You literally had Banks saying, we don't want your 150 million cash. What?
Yeah.
Like you had the whole world.
You know who you gotta be for them to be like.
What did Ye do? He came back with music harder, and that's why Ye is great. Drake, you are too great to sue.
What if he wins?
He's not. How the fuck?
Do you think that somebody like him will take that much of a risk if he didn't think that there was some sort of a victory coming?
When you're emotional, hey, bro, before a great man dies, his ego goes first. Dog. No, and let's be clear. As big as Drake is, Drake
is Taylor Swift more than he's Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, but guess who's bigger than Drake, if you want to be honest? Puff Daddy. And guess who was bigger than Puff Daddy?
Yeah, but Puff Daddy isn't Jewish.
Guess who's bigger than Puff Daddy? Michael Jackson.
But Michael Jackson ain't Jewish.
My point is this.
They took the ball down.
That's my point. My point is that nobody is bigger than the sun and the moon, bro. Nobody is. And we've allowed you to believe that to the point where you just took a little ass whipping from K-Dot. And now you're mad at everybody. Like every time I was watching LeBron at the game, Mustard. I was like, Drake's not gonna talk to you no more. When Billboard announced that Kendrick had 8 of the top 10 on Billboard 100, I was like, he gonna sue Billboard. Why y'all putting that man bitching out the street that he bigger than me? Bro, you've been bigger than everybody. Right. My nigga, you came in with Wayne and shot on that nigga. Got bigger than him and never looked back. That's why he didn't say nothing. Got big as fucking left Cash Money. That's why they didn't say nothing. You was fucking niggas' baby mamas. That's why they didn't say nothing. You was doing all this shady shit behind people's back. And niggas started finally caught up and you didn't say nothing. And guess what? They was smart. We can't argue with you because they're gonna say it's beat him. Drake fuck my bitch. So what? Be bigger than him. Fuck his bitch. Beat him. What you gonna tell him? So guess what the niggas did? Who can beat this nigga? You know that's what it came down. This nigga did it. He was like taking the ring, man. It's like you mad at DeMar DeRozan, my nigga. You know how much DeMar DeRozan has done for the Raptors? Yeah. now you're so big in Toronto that we can't even like a nigga that helped us all these years because you matter that much. Sit your ass down. I don't blame Puff for smacking this shit out of you. Let me tell you something. Everybody, and this is no disrespect, everybody has to be humbled in life. We all have hard days. How you handle it tells me everything about who you are as a man. And to me, it's like, bro, sometimes you need that. Because what he did to Puff was fucked up. Like, that was dirty.
With the track,
I tell you a track to write for me, you don't call me back, and you take the track, put it on yourself. And you think, who gonna touch me? Puff said, I'm gonna way outside the club, nigga. Yeah. Puff said, I dare one of your security guards to touch me, nigga. So now it's me and you, and you get slapped. So my thing is this: is that, and it can happen to anyone. So
Now I don't actually recall that being the story that Diddy gave Drake the beat to write for him. I could have swore the story was that Diddy was sitting on that beat for a long time and wasn't really doing nothing with it. So the producer wasn't tripping off the fact that Drake turned, and we're talking about 0 to 100, by the way, didn't mind that Drake went off and laid something down to it because he like, shit, man, I gave it to Puff, but you know, he plays it in the studio, but he ain't really coming up with nothing to it. At least that's the story I've heard. Y'all could tell me if y'all have heard that Drake was supposed to write the song for Diddy and he put it out himself, you know? But that's not the prevalent version of the story that I heard, okay? And I'll take it a step further. If that's actually what happened is, yo, Drake, I needed you to come write the record for me, and instead of you putting it out, or instead of you writing the record and bringing it to me, when I'm the one with the producer, I'm the one that put the money up for everything, and you run off and create a hit out of the shit when it was literally my shit and I communicated with you about the song, I can understand why homie got the shit smacked out of him too. You know? But I just don't recall that being the way that story was told. But maybe Ray Daniels knows better. All right? Because then that is disrespectful. Like, hey, dog. Like, you knew what it was. It's one thing for multiple artists to have the same beat, because that happens all the time. And a producer might even tell you, like, you know, I sent this beat to this person. I sent it to this person. I sent it to this person. But it's been a year. It's been a year and a half. You know, nobody's really cut nothing to it. You know, niggas say they interested in it, but, you know, nobody did nothing. Nobody made nothing. Nobody gave me no deposit or nothing for the beat. No, nothing, you know. So it's fair game. But again, if the nigga had a conversation directly with you, like, this is my shit, but you can help me with it, and the nigga runs off with it and turns it into a global hit, I can understand, because that song still rings off. You play 0 to 100 right now, I'm going to fucking vibe with that shit. I'm not going to lie to not near nigga soul. That song was hard. Still hard. All right?
my thing is this: is that you thought you were bigger, and you're not, because none of us are. You ain't God, my nigga. You took the loss, nigga. Take it like a man, nigga. Jay-Z, that's like Jay-Z suing Nas or Nas suing Jay-Z because he said he fucked his baby mama. Like,
never.
Right? Like, what are we talking about, my nigga? This is man shit. This is war. You was in a war that you started and you took a L. Nigga, sit down.
Weren't we always waiting for somebody to step up to the record labels, though?
Yeah. But guess what?
That's what's cool about
Guess
it.
what? Nah, that's whack. That's what's whack about it.
I think so.
Because he the nigga who?
Because he
name a
doing it
nigga
too.
that got $500 million from a record label. Nigga, you can't. You can't even name a nigga that got
lot of money
$250 million
from
from
a
a record
record
label.
label.
You got $500 million from the niggas and you, dog, you spoil. By the way, if that was my friend, I'll say the same thing I'm saying to him now, because that's what friends do.
Right.
Friends tell you what you need to hear, not
real
what you want to
counsel.
hear. You spoil, bro. You too good. You're too good, my nigga. That's my only issue with LeBron. You're too good to chase strings. Why you chasing? You're too. God gave you something that if he gave me, or if he gave some, bro, you too good
That's not a diss.
to chase. Sit still. Kings don't run behind motherfuckers. Kings stand still. I don't give a fuck if the kingdom I got is just me and this cardboard box. I'm the king of this motherfucker and I ain't moving. And I'm gonna build another box tomorrow, another box tomorrow. And while y'all laughing at my box, nigga, 6 months from now, that motherfucker ain't laughing nothing to laugh at now. Now who?
I get what he's saying. Let's go to Mark Lamont Hill and talk about this whole he don't believe Drake may ever catch another #1 record, you know? Which will be crazy because that's kind of what Drake has built a lot of his identity on, is having the most #1s and being the most chart topping and being the most streamed. So if he starts to take a back seat as it pertains to that, where does he find his identity? Where does he derive his value from if the one thing that he's always championed himself upon is no longer there?
And you'll never not hear about it. It's always gonna ring off. Shout out to Drake though, like, you know, Drake is Drake. I don't think that Drake is not gonna never have like a #1 record again.
I'm not sure he will.
But I think that his you know, he can go. He's about to do a tour in Australia. Like, not to say that Kendrick Lamar don't have fans in Australia, but like he can still go different places and, you know, is popular enough to, you know.
Oh, I'm sure he'd kill him in Bucharest. I'm saying though, here in America, Drake, and part of it is because he's attacked the Universal Music machine. I mean, what troubled me, Dr. Lindsay, is Drake is that guy who, like, the Universal Music Group, the music industry is trash in general, right? And they manufacture hits, they manufacture celebrities, they manufacture stars, they manufacture #1s. Drake is suing them for manufacturing the #1s that are taking him out the spot, but ignoring the fact that those same machines got him to the #1 spot.
Right.
It's like you can't have it both ways. You know, it's like, oh, all my #1s were because of me. All my #10s were because of you. It don't work that way. He had a #1 with SZA. What was that song?
Yeah, with Sexy Red.
Was it Sexy Red?
It was Drake, Sexy Red, and was that?
I'm talking about Slime You Out.
Oh, Slime You Out. Oh, yeah.
Right, that's my point. It went #1, and nobody listened to Slime You Out. Nobody liked Slime You Out.
Somebody liked Slime You Out,
but not enough for it to be #1.
You know, I'm not a huge fan of Mark Lamont Hill. Sometimes I question why he even chimes in on hip hop related subjects. But he's got a fucking point. Slime You Out was not that big of a record to go #1. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know Slime You Out was #1, but it must have been off the strength of SZA on that one, because Drake has similar records to that don't go to that measure. Typically, you know, in recent years, Drake's more ratchet records are the ones that have been the most successful, which is why he linked up with people like Sexy Red and, you know, stuff like that. But I didn't even know Slime You Out was a #1 record. Sheesh. Especially with Halle Berry not fucking with how she was utilized as the album art, the cover artwork and all that stuff. Very slimy. I'll give you that much. You definitely lived up to the name. You definitely pulled off some slimy shit. But I didn't know you slimed your way all the way to #1.
Saying he's go ahead, Trina.
He's the system that he's calling out, right? Like, you have benefited from this today. Literally today on my Pandora, I got they were like, the Drake station, all things Drake, blah, 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 blah. This is targeted by your company. That's not, I have never, and I've long been a Drake, absolutely not person, well before wop, 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 wop. So I'm just pleased in this moment that pop culture broadly has said no to him right now. I'm kind of with Jameer. I have no idea where he'll be in a couple years, what he could do, what he could retool. He's talented enough to make them. There's still relationships that he still has that I think could be beneficial for how he might resurface. And you know, I think he'll benefit from a certain level of privilege. And also the hundreds of millions of dollars that he has, I'm sure he'll be fine, right, irrespective of what this does mean. But I do think that, you know, it exposed a lot. Again, it's that Cat Williams thing. We start at the top, like who you are, how people actually think about you in the industry, how your peer, who to me was always more talented than you are as a lyricist, right? Not as a pop maker, but you almost dared him to enter into the lane that you have occupied very successfully for while. Like, I mean, this is a fact. He's dominated for a while. And he comes in and makes a song that you can't get away from. Like, even if you wanted to get away, and I mean, whether that's engineered, all that, it is everywhere. Like you said, it's at the 2-3-year-olds party. We're up here A minor. I've changed my hashtag to like, when they go low, I go Kendrick. Like, it was a cultural reset. And at Drake's expense. And the culture told us something, which also gave me a little bit of faith. I've been very like, me and hip hop are breaking up because I've been in this abusive relationship with hip hop for way too long. But this moment made me feel a thing I had not felt in quite some time. And then, of course, I want to shout out the women in hip hop, particularly the women in the South in hip hop who had an incredible year.
Glorilla.
To Rhapsody, the Glorilla, to Meg, Lotto, like these projects, these women ran it, like the exception of Kendrick.
All right, so there's that, and I do want to piggyback off what she was just saying. I'm excited to see what the ladies do this year as well. You know, the ladies that she just named, the Glows, the Megs, the Lottos, Rhapsody, even to see if she doubles back like a deluxe herself. You know, the way she jumped out at academics. I want more of that energy from Rhapsody. I need you to come out more aggressive. All that love and light shit, that's great. You can still give us glimpses of that. But come pop your shit for the people, please. Right? Because that's how we're kind of starting the year. People want to see more competitive rap. And again, like I say in my previous video, you don't have to battle nobody to rap competitively. You know, if you listen to the stuff that I drop, I'm pretty much always rapping competitively. Like, you know what I mean? To where even there may not be a competitor in front of me, but I'm always going to rap at a high level unless it's for a song that just doesn't call for that. You know what I mean? And I'm interested to see more people come out with that. Make hit records out of that thought process rather than everything having to be like on some other shit. You know what I mean? You ain't got to make TikTok-y ass shit all the time. So we'll see. But as for Drake, we'll see, you know, we'll see what this P&D album does. I'm really not excited about that at all. If he were to drop something solo, I think I wouldn't say excited, but I would be more open to hearing his solo thoughts, you know, coming off of everything. But I need Homeboy to lock in. I don't want to hear the shit that you made within the last like 6 months. I feel like you were too hurt. I feel like you were too emotional. I feel like the cut was too raw. Therefore, the music that you're making is kind of still from that emotional place. That's not really going to cut the mustard for me. No pun intended. I would rather take a year, take the next 6 months or so and craft something like, this is where I sit in this current stage of my life. You could talk about friends that ain't there no more, but rather than talk about it from the perspective of like, I'm so hurt or this or that, like talk about like, yo, what did you do for people to feel so comfortable to switch up on you at this moment? You got to take some accountability at some point. You got to, you know what I mean? That's where even if people didn't champion Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers at the time when it dropped as much as they could have, that's what he did on that album. And it set him up in a place to where he could come back with a GNX and we wouldn't be expecting him to still exist within that cathartic space, because it's like he already bared it all. So now we could really just kind of have some fun and see where you are today. Drake is going to need that moment to like go through the catharsis, do some self-evaluation, some reflection upon himself, do some inner work and grow, and then tell us, all right, man, everything, I took a L. My circle got smaller, but I had to, revamp myself in X amount of ways because I'm not perfect and I was fucking up. If he could ever come out and say, I was fucking up, here's where I fucked up, but here's some good music, I think there could be some sort of rebound. Will he do it? I don't know. But I think that's his most realistic path to some sort of redemption, and then get back to the bops and then get back to the fun. And I would also, I gotta say it might be time for some new writers in that camp. I mean, we already know you got writers, so it's not no shame in finding some new ones. I think the niggas that's in your camp are giving you stale work. They're giving you stepped on dope because you sounding stale. So I think it's time to get some new writers in that OVO sweatshop. All right. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And I will catch y'all on the next one. Much love, respect, y'all. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rags. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. With drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross I'm out, I came back with some my honor. But too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. Wanna catch my bad, one fumble. I done came too far to be humble.